Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Being a YouTuber and getting to meet and interact with so many amazing actual experts within the skincare realm and getting to try loads of different products and speak to the head of brands, all this kind of stuff, my opinion about certain things change a lot, or the way I do things tends to change a lot with the more I learn, and changing your mind is fine, learning is fine, growing is fine. And today I want to share some of my favorite exfoliating products in particular because I now take such a different approach towards exfoliation. Today I hope to show you some new products as well that I've not talked about before. I will still like products that I mentioned before, I just want to share something new with you. So yeah, don't be upset if your favorite exfoliator isn't in this video. The first segment of this video is sponsored by Make, one of my newest favorite brands, and I say this out of sponsored videos. I really love Make's approach to skincare, formulating skincare and ingredients, and the kind of products that they're releasing. Their moisturizer, as you know, is one of my favorite moisturizers of all time ever. We won't be talking about that today. The first product we're going to be talking about is their Micro-Crystalline Resurfacing Skin Polish. Now, a physical exfoliant? I used to hate physical exfoliants. And I feel like the hate for physical exfoliation comes from certain brands' products containing really chunky exfoliating bits and also kind of like user error. This was my problem with physical exfoliants, is that I used to feel these bits of scrub, right? These scrubby bits, and I used to have the urge to scrub really hard on my skin to the point where I'd become like red raw in the corners of my nose, and I would think that's a good sign of a good exfoliation. When I discovered that I had rosacea, I did have to stop using certain ingredients, and sometimes there were certain AHAs and BHAs I stopped using, and I did actually start physically exfoliating, but with the right exfoliants. However, what I do like about Micro-Crystalline is there's a mix of the two. The polish in here is like a polish. It's super fine. It's barely even there. It's like a light tickle on the skin rather than an abrasive scrub. And I think polish is the right word over a scrub because there's nothing scrubby about this. So this actually contains microcrystalline cellulose, they've called it, which is basically a plant alternative to small plastic beads, like micro beads, but they're not even that big. These are tiny. You'll see in the demonstration that you barely see them in the shot. And what's great about these is they are all the same shape. They aren't jaggedy, they aren't jaggedy and jiggedy, so they're gentle and soft on your skin. We also have lactic and glycolic acid in here, so two AHAs, which my skin is absolutely fine with. Lactic acid is often kind of recommended as like a gentle AHA. I absolutely love it, my skin loves it. We also have kaolin clay in here. It doesn't leave you dry or anything like that, but it does kind of help whisk away all those excess oils, sebum sit on top of the skin, leaving you feeling nice and refreshed, and your skin does look just polished, finely polished. And I always say this, what I love about this brand is that they call it their Leni technology, Leni, which stands for Lab Engineered Naturals Ingredients. So much more eco-friendly than like, going out and picking plants. That includes a plant-based biodegradable cellulose balls. Something in here called bisabolol, which is like a fermented plant sugars, I believe, that soothe and calm the skin. Wakame, I'm butchering all these names, I'm so sorry. It's like an algae, which we know kind of like moisturizes, hydrates, and potentially can firm up your skin. And they also come with refills as well. So once you're done, order a refill, you get the inner jar, which will cost you $32 instead of $36. Now, let's move on. Now, other than using physical exfoliants instead of just chemical exfoliants, and not demonizing all physical exfoliants, if you're gentle, you're fine. If you can't trust yourself to be gentle, don't bother. One thing I've been doing is opting for gentle, regular exfoliation over higher percentages less often, if that makes sense. My skin just seems to prefer it. Meaning I don't always use scrubs or exfoliating toners. I often look for these exfoliating ingredients in serums and even creams. One of my favorite serums, which I talked about in a previous video, is Lactonic Synchronizing Skin Serum from Make. I mentioned how I now look for products that not do it all, but encompass many ingredients for a plethora of skincare concerns, rather than going for these single ingredient serums, building up this whole serum library and using like a 10-ton of products on my face. And Lactonic is a great example of that for me because it's a brightening evening skin tone serum that contains exfoliating ingredients but gently, something I could use every single day without feeling any kind of irritation. So in here we have lactic acid, our AHA, that helps gently exfoliate the skin. In here it's made from fermented sugar, and of course helps with uneven skin tone and texture. What I also like about this serum is it has your vitamin C, niacinamide, and L-arginine, I think you pronounce it, which is basically a hydrating ingredient. So this really is a all-in-one brightening serum. I love niacinamide for obviously helping to even out my skin tone, which I think really helps. Oh, and help with sebum production as well. But it kind of works alongside exfoliants really well because it does give you that kind of like fresh skin look. As far as the Lenny, I don't know if I even call it that. I'm shortening it to Lenny technology comes in. We have upcycled white pine, a bark extract that helps with uneven skin tone, biofermented powder and laurel lysine to help exfoliate and brighten. I just love this brand. There's something about their ingenuity and mix of science and natural ingredients which I love. It's something that first drew me to K-beauty, is their scientific approach to their natural remedies. And I love how Make are going one step further with that, and these lab engineered natural ingredients are so fascinating to me. So yes, thank you to Make for sponsoring today's video. All the product details are in the top of the description and the links to check out these products, and I'll link to a few more of my favorite from Make as well. As I mentioned, I go for a gentler approach to exfoliating, and that comes with, for me, in the form of certain serums and moisturizers, especially K-beauty. I also love the K-beauty approach of exfoliating and hydrating kind of at the same time. That is, of course, where COSRX come into play, another one of my favorite brands. And one of their newer releases, the AHA/BHA Vitamin C Booster Serum. This serum helps to gently exfoliate, and then we have some fruit-derived vitamin Cs. So our key exfoliating ingredients in here are glycolic acid and betaine salicylate. Betaine salicylate being a gentler, kind of more moisturizing version of salicylic acid, and glycolic acid being glycolic acid. But what I love about this is it's something my skin can handle on a daily basis, and I feel like it's little and often. You know, it's kind of like, it's not about the race to get perfectly exfoliated skin, it's more about the journey to kind of like brighter looking skin. Whereas I used to go with like, what's the highest percentage exfoliant I can get? Let's rub that on my skin and then do it again 2 days time, you know? We also have niacinamide, alpha-arbutin, and ascorbyl glucoside for a brighter looking skin tone. Alpha-arbutin is one of those skin brightening, skin even toning ingredients that I feel like I always think, oh my god, what's this? Has this been here the whole time? I'm always like, oh my god, I really like that, and then I forget about it the next week for some reason, and I never recommend it. But The Ordinary's alpha-arbutin is probably one of the favorite products of theirs I've ever used. So to see it in such a nice formulation is amazing. For me, they do talk about the kiwi fruit extract and their dragon fruit extract. I don't care about that. I think that's where the vitamin C comes in. I'm not bothered. This does have a slightly thicker than water feel to it. So to be honest, you could put this in a toner bottle and I wouldn't notice the difference between this and toner. But again, it's just that daily kind of super light texture that I could use alongside my other serums, moisturizers, and of course sunscreens that you know, and I feel safe using this with a physical exfoliant or an extra exfoliating step in the evening without fucking up my skin. Very similarly, oh my god, I'll do that again. Hang on. A very similar product is their AHA/BHA Refresh Vitamin C Daily Cream. It's the serum in cream form. I obviously don't use both at the same time. I like to use one or the other, but the cream again is a super lightweight, like summer cream. Do you know what I mean? It's very Rovectin Lotus versus the Dew Point moisturizer kind of feel to it. I will say it's completely unnecessary to own both in my opinion, but this is the thing, is it depends where you like your exfoliating steps. I like to use a cream, for example, in the evening because I feel like it's a nice final treatment step to my routine before I go to bed without then having to put a sunscreen over the top of it. Serums, lightweight serums are great to use in the morning, toners, etc. So yeah, it really is down to those gentler exfoliating ingredients in a hydrating formulation that my skin, most importantly, seems to really love and benefit from as well. One product I really didn't think I would enjoy, and I actually turned down a sponsorship opportunity with this particular product, is the Press Refresh Mask from Zitsticka. You know I'm not like a sheet masky guy anymore, mainly because I just can't be bothered. I find them fiddly and I don't have the time. But when I finally decided to try their Press Refresh Sheet Mask, I was so impressed by the results that it actually changed the way I exfoliated for quite a long time. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't know a lot about how this works, so I'm going to read the description to you. It says this jelly-like cutie is drenched in exfoliating acids and skin soothers to unclog pores, refine uneven texture, and bear hug acne-prone skin. Graphene, a material that syncs with your body heat, has the same far infrared waves as the human body, increasing skin conductivity so that ingredients absorb more deeply. I don't know all about that, but it sounds like a thing, right? But again, this is a mix of many of my favorite exfoliating ingredients, including glycolic acid, lactic acid, salicylic acid. We've got niacinamide in here too. And we also have hyaluronic acid and allantoin in there, hydrating. Very nice ingredients that it's like, for me, it's more than just a sheet mask. It's like just a nice exfoliating treatment. And I did look at this and originally I was like, oh, my skin, this is going to be too much for my skin. My skin's going to hate it. I'm going to peel it off and I'm going to be red. But no, the difference, the immediate, I don't say this lightly, but the immediate difference I saw on my nose was good. It was good. No, it doesn't work just like that. It doesn't work just like that. I think it was the more hydration and like smoothing ingredients that made my nose just look very, very smooth, refreshed. And I always feel like an exfoliating step is always a bit of a step, or a bit of like a, oh, this is effort. Whereas the make exfoliant feels nice and gentle and relaxing. And this mask means you could just sit back for a few minutes and let this do the work. I just enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. And as I said, this kind of made me reconsider the different ways I can exfoliate and kind of like enjoy that exfoliating step rather than being scared of it and thinking like, is my skin going to react to it today, you know? Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I'm sure I could talk about a few more others, but maybe for another video. Thanks again to Make for sponsoring a portion of today's video. If you have not checked them out, please do in the description box down below. Let me know your favorite exfoliating products down below. Gentle, not gentle, low, high percentages, whatever. Let me know. You can check out some more product reviews here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.